So this Timpano 4-channel digital DSP with Bluetooth connectivity, voltmeter sequencer, and equalizer. It is a phenomenal little package for $89.95. Of course, you get a discount whenever you use my coupon code CAE over here at Big Jeff Audio. But we're going to talk a little bit about this. I'm going to show you the software that runs this. So this guy's got a built-in sequencer. This is a big deal right here. This will allow you to turn on your amplifiers after the unit has come on. And why would you want to do that? Well, if you've ever turned on your system and you heard a pop as your different amplifiers come on, pop, pop, you hear that noise. All right, that's not good for your tweeters, for one thing. It's also annoying. And it's not really good for your amplifiers to come on with that pop. Well, this can eliminate that problem, you see, because this unit will come on based on its remote. It's getting right here, right? And then once it comes on, you'll set and wait for however long you have it programmed to wait. And then it'll turn on the things. It'll send a signal to these so you can turn on your amplifiers. And what that's doing is allowing the rest of the system to get online and everything to be ready to go. And then the amplifiers will start amplifying what they're seeing. Basically means you don't get that turn on pop. And it does have a limiter as well. And the limiter will, on the outside of the case, will show you whenever it's being active. So whenever you have reached a point to where the limiter is kicking in and is holding back the volume of certain sounds from getting to your speakers, that's when you'll see it flash here. So this is kind of telling you what's up. Anyway, let me show you the software that goes with this. So this is the Timpano app, and this is your main page you come to. And we're running it in demo mode, so it's not going to be connected to the actual unit. But I wanted to show you guys some of these features that this thing has. Now, first of all, you got your main gain. This is going to control your volume and allow you to just, control the volume from the unit. And you got mute. This mutes the different channels. You can mute them from the main page. Over here on the right, you'll see your voltage showing, and there's a very detailed deal on that. It'll show you your minimum voltage that you ever hit and your maximum voltage that you ever hit whenever you got the unit on. So from the time the unit turns on, it's going to keep track of the lowest voltage it ever sees and the highest voltage it ever sees. Very handy. One of the main features on this unit is the sequencer. And you can see the sequencer is here. And in this sequencer, you can control up to 3 different devices and sequence them. And in that sequencer, you can change the time that it takes before they come on. So once the Timpano unit sees power, it'll wait however long you have set before it turns on any one of those 3 different turn-ons. That by itself makes this extremely cool. And of course, you have a limiter and all that as well. I'm going to show you how to use some of that stuff. So first, we'll go into the gain controls. That's over here on the bottom left corner. And there, of course, you've still got that main gain. You've got individual gains for each channel, each of the 4 channels. And then you can also mute those channels from that screen as well. So you can adjust volume control for those things. And then we got crossover. And in the crossover, you can do all the things you expect. So if you want to set channel 1 and then set it to, let's see here, to low pass and that's the low pass filter. I'm going to set it to 12 dB. So that shows you your filter, and then you can adjust the frequency. Say we'll set it to 100 hertz. All right. And in the low pass, the high pass, we'll set that to, We'll set that to like, I don't know, 20 hertz. And this will keep your subwoofer from trying to play too low if you have the subwoofer turned on here. Then you can go to channel 2, do the same thing. You can set that sucker for, these are your different roll-offs right here. So set it for a 24 dB roll-off, and then just whatever, let's say 100 hertz, you know, and then up to 3K. Just kind of a generic setting in here. And then we got to set the roll off. So we'll set that for 24 dB roll off. And this will be your mid range. You can go through and set up each individual channel for a frequency range. It's very cool. And it shows you the colors of those channels down here, what they're doing and the overlap that you're getting. So you can do your whole crossover network there. Audio settings, there's a lot. So you got your graphic EQ, and you can move these up and down. You can adjust them with the buttons over here at the top right. You can do them just, work it like that. Your fine adjustment, you can adjust all the different details there. It's actually pretty good. Plus, it comes with some presets, so you can go through here if you just want the hip hop, tune. There you go. You got lots of options here. Pretty good all-inclusive little EQ there. That's the graphic EQ. The parametric EQ lets you adjust each individual channel as well. So this is channel 1, so you can do some tweaking to those channels, set them how you want. Lots of work here. Pretty good. And again, there's our crossovers right there. Back in there, and routing. So your routing is interesting. So like if you got channel 1, and you can make your A and B your, this is your input. A and B is your input, right? So let's say you have A set for input on the left channel and B set for input on the right channel. So then you can let channel 1 receive the input from A, channel 2 receive the input from A, and 3 from A, 4 from B. So you could get 2 channels left and right, or you can make them all mono. So you can make channel 1 and 2 receive both A and B input. They'd be a mono channel. This is your assignment for how your channels are run. It's pretty easy to work with that. And of course, gain does what it did before. And your limiter, now this allows you to set a threshold on a channel. So let's say you don't want your tweeters to be blown and you don't want distortion to go into them. You can set up this limiter and it will stop. You set this limiter up below the point of your distortion, and the limiter will stop the volume from exceeding that point on that frequency. So it basically works like it protects your speakers essentially. So you can set your gain to a certain point, but then if you play a track that's louder than the track that you use to set your gain, you end up running into a problem where the volume coming through is higher than it was when you set your gain, right? Well, the limiter can fix that. Essentially, it works like having someone sitting in the car that turns the volume down whenever a really loud song comes on. Kind of works like that, except it limits specific things that happen in the song. So it kind of takes some of the dynamic range out of the song. It makes it more of a constant volume. And you can set this as aggressively or as lightly as you want. Learning about the limiter can save your stuff, especially if you like to crank, hard and play hard. This thing here can save your equipment. So it's a very nice little thing to have, but you do need to learn how to use it. Delay is exactly what you think. It's time delay, and you can set up delay so that you have all the frequencies hitting your head at the same time. Bob's your uncle. This thing works like you think it does, and it works well. And phase, of course, allows you to flip the different channels in and out of phase. Sometimes having channels out of phase can actually move the image around quite a lot and help with your imaging overall in the vehicle. So it's a really, really cool little setup. It's an impressive amount of stuff going on here. It really is. So you've got your inputs and your limiter. Everything's on a page. You can pull this app up right here. You can watch that voltage. You can go into the tools here. You can do some other cool stuff in here. In here you can do frequency sweeps. You can do pink noise, all that kind of stuff. You can also do control your sequencer, which is here, and you control the delay on the sequencer, so you can crank it up or slow it down. You can make it to where it comes on quicker or has more delay. You can set up which ones you want to work. It's very, very cool. Sequencer is very nice. Um, you can save and load channels here. You can save and load your different tunes that you have. You can copy channels. So if you've already got all the crossovers and all the EQ set up on channel 1 and you want to put it on channel 2, you can do that. You can just select channel 2, hit the copy button, and it'll move it over there. Or if you want to copy it to channel 4 or whatever, that makes getting multiple channels set up a lot quicker and easier. And the voltmeter will show you this wonderful little deal. So this will be a real-time thing showing you your voltage in real time as it is being read through the system. And you can pull this up and have this up while you're playing and doing demos. And this little sucker right here will give you a very accurate view of your voltage while you're playing. Very, very cool. So overall, I think this is an excellent piece of software. I mean, it's not the most inclusive DSP, but man, it's got a lot of good features that can really help. And for the price, holy cow, what a deal.